really weren't able to find any solution out there that did the same thing for databases. So we ended up building our own machine learning model that kind of predicts ahead of time. And by ahead of time, I don't mean 15 minutes. I mean like hours ahead of time, that we think that the load in our system is going to go up because the volatility in crypto is increasing. And by doing that, and so sort of when we think the volatility is increasing, we are going to be able to pre-scale the databases to some level as needed, and such that we can manage it. And we've had it in production for a couple of months, and in the last and when these let's say these events of high load happen, we've been able to manage it and pre-scale. So we wrote about it in a blog.
Former President Trump is proposing even deeper cuts if elected, but those cuts could mean losing a key seat in the House. Emily Wilkins joins us right now. She's got more on that story. Hi, Emily.
Hey, Becky. Well, I'm here today in Stafford, Virginia, where this parking lot is filling up with federal workers who live here and then take the bus or carpool up to D.C. Federal employees and government contractors, they're a key part of the economy here. But a new plan from former President Trump would move 100,000 government employees away from D.C., and that could cost the state of Virginia about $28 billion, according to one estimate. The proposal is facing a pushback from a member of Trump's own party, Derek Anderson, and he's running for Congress here. Now, both the GOP and Democrats are targeting this House seat, which will be key to who controls the chamber next year. Anderson told CNBC in a statement that he will oppose any legislation that could weaken national security, raise the cost of living, or hurt jobs in the district, regardless of where that comes from.
Steve, I'm going to start with you. 20 years ago, the idea of Apple and Microsoft investing in the same company as effectively investment partners would have been nuts.
They're more frenemies now. That's it's long. Yeah, that's long past.
But I do think these new capabilities in your email, these new capabilities with our Siri that we actually like to use, is going to drive that exciting buying cycle for the next gen devices. Then Apple can figure out how to monetize, and having OpenAI behind it is powerful given what it's been able to do with AI and Siri.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And make sure you go to TikTok, like, and follow. Now we have Coinbase deploys machine learning to help prevent downtime. And guys, what did I tell you? All these issues that are going on, now AI is coming with the fix. And they don't need AI to let them know when they're going to have a lot of traffic. Guys, we know the events that come up during the week, geopolitical events. So we know for a fact a billion-dollar company knows also. Now we have Trump says he's going to be cutting costs. All this government spending. And it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Harris or Trump, they're going to start cutting costs. The United States dollar is going to lose that world reserve currency title. So all these spoiled Americans, guys, that's going to come to an end. And we know if the Democrats and Republicans don't come to an agreement, which most likely they won't, we'll have a government shutdown. Now we have Apple and OpenAI, which of course Microsoft funded, are looking to partner. And we know Siri backwards is Iris, nothing but an anagram. Finding Nemo is really finding the omen. You can go on and on. But the fact is that OpenAI, of course, has WorldCoin, which is scanning the eye. And we know Apple has Siri, which is backwards, is really Iris. And all this technology gives the NWO the all-seeing eye. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have CrowdStrike outage, made a big impact. But when it comes to earnings, they still be earnings. But guys, we know when it comes to cybersecurity, they're going to play a big role. And we also have to watch out for them when it comes to the election. Remember what Trump stated about the servers. Instead of them going to the government, they went to CrowdStrike. Now we have NVIDIA beat earnings, but the gap of beating is definitely coming down. But remember, guys, they're doing a $50 billion buyback. Yes, you heard that correct. We know the manipulation is going on. But then also, guys, we know there's going to be a chip war. But it's all part of the plan. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Google Cloud and Accenture team up with generative AI. And guys, these are the same names that we heard when it comes to crypto and these digital assets. The same name when it comes to these digital IDs. This is one big plan. We know when AWS, Amazon's cloud go down, a lot of these crypto projects go down. We also saw it with CrowdStrike. These corporations are not working against each other, competing against each other. They're working together. Why? Because they're going to win at the end. And that's what it's about. When you come together and work together, you all win at the end. Unfortunately, when it comes to the sheep, they've been programmed to work against each other, not work together. So therefore, you can all win. Unfortunately, the program has been as an individual. That's the reason why they promote Michael Jordan and individuals on a team. But guys, the whole team has to come together in order for you to win. I don't care how great you are. The team has to come together in order for you to win. Once you understand that concept, and that's the reason why family is so important, because when you come together, you're unstoppable. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Outlier, and that was Delta. Now, Delta made, which is suing you, they made it feel like did you not try to reach out to senior management at Delta? Because it sure seems like you kind of dropped the ball this one.
It's an unfortunate incident. Obviously, we caused an impact, and we tried to work through it with them. They've expressed that from a legal perspective, they may intend to sue. They haven't decided at this point. But look, we'd love to work with Delta, find a resolution around this. And at the end of the day, we're trying to work with all customers to make sure that we address their issues, they understood what happened, and we can go forward in a constructive fashion. And that would be our goal. Okay, I think that's the correct response. One thing that did concern me is that there were some people who were basically kind of mischaracterizing what happened here. Including people in your industry who don't seem to realize that this could happen to anybody. I don't know how anyone in business didn't understand that, because this was not core competence that was in question. Tell me about the what people aren't getting right. Well, when we look at what happened here, Jim, it was a configuration change that was made to software that was tested and running for the better part of 5 months. And we encountered a bug. It went through a validation process, and obviously we had an impact. And when we think about the industry we're in IT, and I spoke to many customers who talked about many vendors that had impacts and issues. And, it happens in IT. This obviously was something that was visible, and it happened to a lot of customers. But, from our perspective, we've identified what it was. It was a process issue. Obviously, there was a bug in the validation process. We've corrected that. And more importantly, we're focused on making sure that we have the best process around QA, rollout, deployment, and resiliency. And we really want to be a hallmark of transparency and resiliency in this area. And that's really what we've talked to customers about, giving them control, giving them assurance it won't happen again, and moving forward. And that's been well received by our customers.
And it clearly worked.
Some concerning signs. One is the size of NVIDIA's earnings beats, which are coming down 6% in the second quarter compared to the 29% back in 2023. The revenue beat also narrowing over the past few quarters, something that analysts have been talking about. Now, on the earnings call last night, NVIDIA did acknowledge that operating expenses are going up as its next generation graphics processing unit Blackwell ships out in the fourth quarter. Its biggest business, data center, saw record growth, 45% tied to cloud service providers. Gaming sales were up 16% year over year, quieting concerns about heightened competition. And there's an active debate amongst Wall Street folks about gross margins.
So we built a portfolio jointly with Julie and her team of hundreds of solutions based on generative AI. We've trained roughly double the number of people at Accenture on bringing these solutions to customers. We're working with hundreds of the Fortune 500 companies. 45% of those solutions, whether it's at Radisson, changing how we do customer experience, helping people at Best Buy change how they understand customer needs and change how they replan deliveries and logistics for customers to improve customer service. Or if it's Banco BV, one of the largest private banks in Brazil, where they've changed the way that their core private bank works and delivers products and services to their clients. they've worked on, and 45% of these are going from pilot into production, showing the real business value that Accenture and Google are able to deliver to clients using generative AI.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.